weird.
It stopped.
Yeah, hold on, everybody. There we go. Again. Is Instagram on? I'm not getting anything.
Let me look.
Yeah, it looks like we got one person on. I don't have the video then. We'll fast forward that so you guys don't know what's next.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all this.
Wait a second. Michelle Lionberger says, I'll be back. Gonna watch Ryan. No, don't worry. Don't even come back. Thanks.
And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree. Stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want. Damn, show what you need. I won't tell no lies. Back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dad.
Looks like everything's working tonight.
So far. So far.
Good morning, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. And we got Instagram working? Jeez.
Yeah. Harsh Winds here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast, at The Dumb Show, and his website, don'tunfriendme.com. Yeah.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree. We can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? I shared my AIDS with Olivia.
I was like, what? You shared your AIDS with me?
Olivia,
And we share cooties, so I guess that works.
So here, I told her not to go. I told her not to go to work. Then I told her not to be on the show. She won't listen to me. She's like, no, we can go on. I said, no, let's go downstairs. Everyone will understand. Now you got it. And here she is. She won't.
I'm here. I'm loyal.
Good puppy. Good puppy.
Roof.
Here. Open. Oh, there it is. Good job. Chomper.
Don't make me laugh. That's the one thing that makes me cough.
Oh, great. Yeah. So folks, the show's not going to be funny at all tonight because Olivia can't cough. Why did Michelle go over to Ryan? Was it Ryan Samuels she went to? Is she cheating on us? I mean, seriously? Where is she? How am I feeling? I'm doing. It's still there. Like it was in the chest. It was pretty deep. If you guys get this, don't take it serious. Like, this is worse than whatever the hell we went through for the last 3 years. It put me down.
I only have laryngitis, just the voice.
For now, that's what I had when I first started. Everyone knows that. And then it turned into the shiz.
Yeah.
So just take it easy, folks. RSV's going around. There's a lot of stuff going around. So I'm feeling much better. Thanks for asking, everybody. Appreciate it. Olivia sounds like Daisy Duck.
Daisy Duck. That's funny.
What's going on, Instagram? Gosh, it's good to see Instagram. Instagram's been hopping. Instagram and YouTube are in a race to 1,000. So Olivia, I don't know. I put $25 this week on YouTube just to see.
Let's see where we're at.
If you haven't been to YouTube, please go over there and follow us. Create an account, even if you hate YouTube. We don't care. Same thing with Instagram, because Instagram and YouTube are having a race. But my Instagram, we have a reel that's at 250,000 viewers. It's almost got 10,000 comments. It's crushing. Of course, I'm not getting paid on Reels because Facebook's being complete dicks about that. But the Reel's doing really well. We just made a new one. Olivia, did you want to see it?
Yes, I would love to see it.
Okay, cool.
What in the world is wrong with Instagram?
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to type and it's doing it backwards.
I think Instagram, just don't screw anything up. Don't touch
I'm
it.
just not going to, okay, hi Instagram people, I'm just not going to type in there.
Yeah, just leave it alone. Just like it's
just-
kind of like it's kind of
Yeah,
like
it's- I
don't
don't
touch
know.
it. And we don't want anything bad to happen. Go into the video. Here's the latest one, which I got to post again because I posted like 3 times accidentally, and then you don't do that. If you do that on Facebook, it's not going to get any hierarchy. So I had to delete it. I'll put it on tonight or tomorrow. Here it is. Oh shit! Every damn show. Every night I forget to change over the audio. There it is. Whoa, Wascoey Wabbit. Here we go. All right, here we go.
The nutrients in whole milk, like protein, calcium, and vitamin D, provide the fuel Santa needs to travel the whole globe in one night. Whole milk is the unsung hero of his Christmas journey.
You know, there was a time that I thought that drinking bacon was a bad thing, but if Mrs. Claus says so, have at it.
She's like 785. That's one of our legislators. It's getting a little excessive. But the other one, which was the putting the roses on the meat. Olivia, have you had a chance?
Yes,
to
you
see?
showed me that one.
Olivia, you're supposed to say no.
Oh, no, I haven't
I
seen it.
haven't seen it. It's,
I'm waiting excitedly to see it.
That's stupid. Everyone knows now that you have already seen it, but let's go ahead and pretend you haven't. Let's see. Let's look at the updated numbers, first of all. Spring League TV has got to get their reels working, man. I mean, it's not their reels, but their shorts, because I'm telling you that it's huge, and I'm starting to crack the code on how to present these things. So we're looking at. I have not boosted this. I have not added any ads to it. The reach is 200,000 people. Engagement. Oh, it doesn't even show. Well, that's stupid. Here, I'll tell you. 8.3 thousand people have liked it. 2.2 thousand comments. That's insanity. Let's see. This would be most assuredly viral if it's achieved past your viewership and your likes. That's a viral video. Yeah, 260,000 it just clicked. So obviously it's fairly popular. Here it is if you haven't seen it. It's pretty interesting. Here it is. A little loud. Oh, come on. It's so popular, it's not playing. Dude, what the shite? Olivia,
Yes.
what are you causing?
I don't
It's
know.
like you come around and everything breaks. All right, screw it.
I'm
Just go over to the
a
site.
curse at technology.
Just go over to the damn site. Just go see it. It's right there.
It's funny.
It's hold on. I've boosted this thing up verbally. I got to at least show it. No porn. Oh, phew, thank God. No, that's my cinematic. I don't have it. Oh yeah, I do. Here it is. Olivia,
Yes.
go get it, will you?
Okay.
Jeez, you think you could help me out here? No, never mind. I found it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I just would have assumed you got a free flower with every meat purchase.
Dude, there's no way that chick's a vegan. I mean, either she's a vegan or she's eating a shit ton of pizza. And everyone's like, you can't fat shame her. I'm like, her shame is with her. It has nothing to do with me. If you let yourself get like that, you should feel shame. I'm sorry, you should. If you steal for a living, you should feel shame. If you beat your kids, you should feel shame. If you are uneducated and pretend like you're something different, you should be ashamed. If you cheat on your family and your wife or your husband, you should be ashamed. And if you are ungodly orca fat And when you do have sex, it sounds like Mother Walrus going flap, flap, flap.
Can anyone guess what movie that's from?
Why'd you out me? It was a great line.
It was a great line.
Skank Martin has sticky sores.
Such a good movie.
What a great movie. Mystery Alaska, if you haven't seen one of the greatest hockey movies. Except for it's like Slapshot. No, Mystery Alaska is the greatest hockey movie of all time. Yeah, if that's you, you should be ashamed. And maybe that shame will save your life. But that person has no business calling themselves a vegan. I mean, come on. You're not a vegan. Maybe you eat vegans, like literally. You invite them over for dinner and then you have them for dinner. Or maybe you drink a lot of whole milk. Have you heard about this, Liv?
Drinking whole milk?
Yeah, you saw that legislator who was in Senate today, and she basically did this giant rendition of Santa Claus and like went through the night before Christmas, but I call it the heart disease before Christmas. And I showed you the Instagram video just a second ago, but you weren't paying attention, so I'm sure you didn't even see it.
I did.
Whatever.
There was a cartoon Santa that danced across the bottom.
Not really, but that's okay. So she decides to go on the floor today. And obviously, I mean, listen, it would be like lobbying for cigarettes. You going out there and be like, listen, flavorful tobacco, rich in history, the Marlboro Man, Camel, Red Apples. I want you to think back to Jimmy Dean and the pack of rolled cigarettes up in his sleeves and the Socias and the Jets and the Sharks and the Greasers. Smoke it. And everyone's looking at you like, dude, you were so paid off by big tobacco. Ag definitely paid this chick. First of all, anyone that pushes the 5 food groups anymore is a Satanist. Do you remember the 5 food groups, Liv?
Let me see. Dairy, meat. Was it fruits and vegetables? Were they the same
yes,
one?
Fruits and vegetables.
There's grain.
Grain.
And then wasn't there
protein?
Oh, okay. I thought it was like wasn't there a small one like sugar, sweets or something like that? I don't know.
That would fall under grain and carbohydrates, I'm sure. It doesn't matter. 5. And every meal you were supposed to have breakfast, lunch, listen to it, a sensible snack, and dinner. And inside those 4 meals, you were supposed to have all 5 food groups represented. And if you didn't have all 5 food groups represented,
you were unhealthy.
You were unhealthy, and God would come down and kill a puppy. That was what it was all about.
I remember that, learning that.
And that lady who was born in 1562 that we're going to see again.
Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus, essentially. That would be 1500 then, because the old Saint Nick and okay, it doesn't matter. But etymology of that myth is around 1500. But it doesn't really matter. Mrs. Claus decided to come down from the North Pole early and share with us her vision of that drinking whole milk is somehow good, and that we're stealing from the fabric of society if we don't drink it. Here it is. Enjoy this.
The nutrients in whole milk, like protein, calcium, and vitamin D, provide the fuel Santa needs to travel the whole globe in one night. Whole milk is the unsung hero of his Christmas journey.
And his unequivocal fatness. It ain't the cookies, folks, because he burns enough of those simple sugars and complex sugars to go ahead. It's the milk.
Protein.
It increases his estrogen, and that's why Santa has man tits. Just letting you know.
It helps build and repair Santa's muscles, hoisting heavy sacks of gifts up.
Did she say it helps hoist? No, it helps put stiffness in his missile as he hoists sex up the chimney. Are we talking about this? Is this Satan Claus or Santa Claus? Let's listen to that again. I'm not sure. I think that's what I heard. Let's listen.
It helps build and repair Santa's muscles.
His missiles.
Hoisting heavy sacks of gifts up and down the chimney.
I love hoisting heavy sex, especially dead hookers in sex. Dead hookers and sacks up chimneys is one of my fortes.
Is no easy task.
It isn't.
Calcium is vital for strong bones, It is calcium that keeps Santa strong and sturdy as he dashes from rooftop to rooftop. And vitamin D is essential to a strong...
Vitamin D. Come on. Vitamin Big D. That's what this is a sexual innuendo. Grandma's got her freak on. She's talking about the vitamin D. I mean, everybody needs the vitamin D, even Grandma, even Miss Claus.
Immune system.
We know what she wants for Christmas this winter.
Santa absolutely needs one as he braves the cold, wintry night. You see, it's not just the magic of the season that helps Santa deliver presents worldwide. It's also the fortifying nutrients of whole milk.
Yeah, that lady is completely full of shit.
Well, if she's trying to prove a point, why are you doing it with a mythical character?
Well, why are you in Congress? I mean, this woman should be working in a mall, and she should be handing out cookies and candy canes and taking photographs with the elves. She has no business. She's, first of all, she's like 186 years old. She's Joe Biden's great grandmother, if that tells you anything. Virginia Fox is her name. Fox Force 5. And this is the one that told the reporter to shut up like a couple of weeks ago. She's like, you just shut up.
Really? She's feisty.
Oh, senile. I don't know if that's feisty. I mean, senile. But so let's talk about it. Let's talk about whole milk, right? Because there was a time that whole milk was considered good for you. And I used to believe it. And I argued with you about it, didn't I? You wanted to buy that 1%, 2% fascist water crap.
Skim.
Even worse. You did. You started me. No, but you like this was a slow roll. You started me off at 2. Then you went down to 1. And I'm like, God, it's just like, this isn't thick anymore. You're like, well, it's the same stuff, but it was 1. And then finally gave me like skim. And it was like making love in a canoe, fucking near water. And I just finally said, fine. And now skim milk is too milky.
Yeah, I've never liked whole milk, even as a kid. Never.
That's all we drank. We drank vitamin D because my mom bought into this. I mean, she must have known Mrs. Claus. So, but here's some things that it's really bad for you. It's super high in fat content. The amount of protein that's in 1% or skim is the exact same as in vitamin D. In fact, there's more because there's less fat. And fat is doesn't absorb the normal proteins as non-fat milk does. It's better for you. It hydrates better for you. I mean, milk isn't good for you no matter what. I mean, milk, you shouldn't even drink milk. I want you to imagine, Liv, that if when you were at your 8 or 9 month mark, if I just walked up to you and just, a little in the glass.
That's not how it works.
Or I got the pump,
Your milk doesn't come in until after the baby's born.
Whatever. So whatever. So let's just say that happened. And, I'm just, milking you, grab the little teats and I'm just like, and then I'm just like, cold, frothy glass of milk. What would you say? You say about that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so if that's disgusting, who the fuck came up with the idea of putting their hands underneath a giant shit machine that reeks to high heaven, grabbing its 4 nipples and squeezing and pulling and then going, oh, wow, look at this. This looks delectable, and drinking it? That's not meant for you. It's meant for growing calves. Now, kids, I can understand. You and I gave our, you gave our child breast milk. I didn't help. But then we obviously gave them DHA milk, right?
It was omega-3 and DHA.
Which was great because
Organic.
our kids are completely nuts and it worked fine. And that's one thing. But it's for growing people. You don't need it. Like, you're seeing 13-year-olds out there built like Dolly Parton because of these growth hormones and this
that's
shit.
why I buy organic for the kids.
Yeah, I'm done.
Which I have a very funny story about breast milk.
Okay, well, give us a funny story about breast milk.
Okay, back in Texas, I was out with...
Could you not slam your drink down on the microphone? I mean, look, this is what it sounds like.
Sorry. You playing the drums?
Okay, go.
Okay. So back in Texas, went out with the ladies for a ladies' night, and we're at the bar, a few shots in.
What year was this?
2018, maybe?
Okay.
2019, something like that. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
So I've told you the story, and
I probably didn't listen.
probably not. So
What did you say?
exactly.
Go ahead.
So, we're playing pool, having a good time, just all the girls. And
Was this in Texas?
yeah, it was with the girls.
You already said this.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. I'm listening
course
now.
you're not.
Now I'm listening. Go ahead.
So like 3 or 4 young guys walk in. Turns out it's one of their 21st birthday. And one of my friends, I'm not going to name any names.
Why not?
Lexi. She just had a baby. And she was nursing. So yeah, in order to keep your supply up, you have to pump if you're not going to feed the baby when you normally feed the baby. So she had to go pump. Well, she decided that it would be hilarious if we convinced this kid that was turning 21 if it was a White Russian.
That is
And
cruel.
she gave him.
You wonder why we roofie your drinks.
And she convinced him it was a White Russian, and he drank it. And I fell off the stool. I was laughing so hard.
Did she tell him?
Yeah, eventually we told him he ended up throwing up in the trash can. It was hilarious.
Some guys pay good money for
I
that.
know.
Wait a second, you never told me this story.
I know I did.
No, you didn't. No, what else happened this night? Why are you sitting around with 4 guys?
We weren't.
Sounds like you were. If
No.
you got one of them to drink your friend's
I didn't.
breast milk, I'm pretty confident you were having
I
some
didn't.
sort of.
I was not a
Folks,
part
we'll
of
be
it.
right back. We've got to have a conversation here. We'll see you later.
I was not a part of it.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt,
So you're flirting with 4 guys.
No.
You didn't tell me about.
No, I was not. I was not a part of it. I stayed away.
Right. Is this the one where you got inebriated? You didn't come back till 3 o'clock in the morning?
No, that was one of my last nights in Texas.
So this is another night that you stayed out till 3 o'clock in the morning?
It was when I used to go out with Lexi and the girls.
Do you know what's hilarious? I've never done that to you. Do you know how many times you've done that to me? Go out all night, get drinking, get all flirty. And
Like-
I have
4 or 5 in our entire
yeah, you know,
relationship.
how many
'cause
times have I done
don't-
it with you? Zero. Not once. I would never put you in that predicament. I would
And
never.
every time I told you I was going out with the girls and I'm gonna have fun.
Right, like having men drink your breast milk. Yeah,
I
it's-
was
no,
not a
it's
part of
totally
it.
innocuous.
I'm not a
no,
part
no,
of
that's
that.
cool. It's like that time I had the girl pretend that I was a raging bull and she rode my face at the Galactic Cowboy. It was totally innocent. I mean, I just wanted to see what.
I'll never tell you my stories agagan.
Well, obviously, you never told me that one to begin with because I never heard
I
about
did
it.
tell you. You just didn't listen.
I
Like
can't
you
believe
just
you're doing
admitted.
White Russians with. Was it Donald Trump? Because heard he enjoys Russians, especially White Russians. It's not about race though, folks. Speaking of Donald Trump, did an article today. If you haven't seen it, you can go over to thedumbshow.com. We've added news to the site. I don't know if you guys had a chance to hear that, which we're pretty excited about. Doing some articles, dabbling in it. It's going to get a lot of traffic. Spreely is going to put a lot into it, and obviously send some advertisers over there. But the dumb news. Look at the new logo. What do you think, Liv?
I like it.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, not
It's
bad.
good.
Yeah, so pretty simple. Come on in every day, 1 to 2 articles. It's well laid out. Just a little bit about what's going on in the world. Nothing that's gonna, tickle your pickle or make you go and drink breast milk, but it'll be good.
Call Lexi. It was all her idea.
I'm not gonna call Lexi about that. Hey, guess what? My wife's talking about your boobies again. So, hey, real quick, wanted to thank. Who am I thanking? Let's see. I am thanking. Let's see. Wow, Shane Gilmore, who just purchased a couple things. So Shane, thanks for your purchase. See, Shane's a real loyal listener, a good person who cares about the quality of. No, I'm just kidding. Shane, enjoy that. Bought a Matt and Mike shirt, which that's awesome. I think Mike's going to be happy. It's probably Mike's friend or something, but we'll go ahead and count it. Moving on. Looking at Twitter and looking at this mashup over there on the site, you could read the news article, and it talks about Donald Trump pulling ahead in Iowa, not just with the Republican caucus, but overall nationally, polling 6 points ahead in some areas in the national poll. Now, I want you to be careful because the national poll isn't exactly indicative of where we will end up because we're an electoral college. Really, state by state will give you a better bellwether or weather bane to where we're going to be. But national is what we've got right now. And until the caucuses happen and until the primaries happen, we're in a situation where we're looking at the national polls. But either way, that's fairly good news. Now, a lot of people are saying Bidenomics is working because the stock market went up. Well, the average American doesn't invest in the stock market, number one. And number two is if you look at Trump's growth in the stock market, I think the highest president in U.S. history for individual stock market growth for a 4-year stint was Barack Obama, like 61% or something to that effect, which is huge. But Donald Trump was right there at like 47% increase. And you got to remember, when he took office, you were looking at like a $15,000, $16,000 Dow index, and he, encroached upon 30,000. Well, Joe Biden's increased it by 6,000. So of course, the Democrats are giving him the proverbial jerk off and milking it, breast milk. And unfortunately, it's not that huge of an accomplishment. You've got to have some growth. Otherwise, you have a deficit. And you can sit here and say that, oh, well, this is really successful. Well, it's successful because the Fed finally said, because it's an election year, that we're going to lower interest rates or not raise them for the first time since God was a corporal. Well, that has a false impact on the stock market. Stock market will come back down to earth. It always does. But this is the Joe Biden regime and the Fed that's not supposed to follow what the president wants and not to follow the election year, but does it anyway. Anyway, they're all shit in a purple Twinkie because Donald Trump is showing some fairly decent numbers in the polls, along with youth, along with black vote, brown vote, and even surprisingly enough, some women voting. So let's watch this mashup, which is, in my opinion, very well done. I've used this gentleman before. His name's Tom Elliott. If you have not visited him, it's at Tom S. Elliott over on Instagram. He is phenomenal at mashups. And
Donald Trump
he does
term
some really good
look
ones.
like?
So let's watch this, and then
What would
then we
a
can comment on
second
it
Donald Trump term?
In 1 second.
What would a second Donald Trump term look like?
Well, he cannot be the next president. Because if he is,
you can't imagine the things that he's going to do. Mexico, Canada. We can't go to Canada because eventually Canada will become annexed to America.
And shoot visitors to the White House. Yeah, that means he can shoot the First Lady.
We're going to see violence, the likes of which we didn't even see on January 6th.
Make it illegal to run against him, to throw his opponents in jail, to shut down the media.
He will make himself into the Fuhrer, and he will make everybody raise.
We are going to see violence like we didn't see on January 6th. Talk about a cringeworthy moment on that one.
And salute him.
Using martial law against the American people.
Terminate the Constitution.
Rewrite the Constitution.
Create mass internment camps.
Throw everyone into Gitmo.
Might be sent to jail or their rights might be suppressed, especially minority groups in society.
You might have any number of things happen to you and your family.
Every one of us, our freedom, our liberty, none of us is safe.
He's going to have people around him executing against an enemy's list.
Assassinate generals,
ordering troops to attack American citizens.
Trump's very well armed and extremist base will try to kill people.
He's going to basically burn the house down.
He will unravel the institutions of our democracy.
Draw similarities between Mussolini and Hitler.
Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini.
Makes Donald Trump even more dangerous.
Wants to take away your vote. Senate and the House are immediately going to be paralyzed.
People will begin in their minds to censor themselves. They might say, well, maybe I shouldn't say this.
This is the end of
of democracy.
I think that could be the end of our democracy.
But democracy is dead if Trump is reelected.
Cozy up to Putin that democracy will be at risk.
The absolute destruction of the Justice Department as we know it.
The Justice Department could be entirely transformed.
I am really concerned about that.
Every person who was associated with the attempted coup elevated in the administration.
If he's reelected, he will curb transgender rights.
The end of the rule of law.
Arrest political opponents.
To persecute, not prosecute, but persecute his enemies.
Take a wrecking ball to the rule of law.
He's going to make the law. Everyone else will have to follow.
Vote for Donald Trump may.
And your little dog, too.
I was thinking of you made me make me happy.
Oh, my God. We're not even done yet. We're not even done. We got to get
In the last election that you ever get to vote in.
To go after the independent and free parts of American civic life.
He would tear down our institutions.
Purge the government of employees.
Department by department effort to weaponize the powers of the government.
To use the military to quash protests.
Ridding the government of all democratic safeguards.
Junking American democracy as we have always known it.
That he would try to stay in office beyond a second term. That he would never leave office.
There's no question.
Trump is reelected, he won't leave.
Donald Trump will never leave office voluntarily.
And what that means is that everybody who wants us to remain a republic has to put every other thing aside and work together urgently right now to stop that from happening.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
These people just...
If I'm not mistaken, Obama is the only president that executed U.S. citizens.
Oh, no, there's been plenty of people who've executed U.S. citizens, but he's the only one did it so wantingly with no habeas corpus. I mean, we execute U.S. citizens all the time. They happen to be called felons in the death penalty. What he did is he did it under the cloak of airstrikes. But
if he didn't do any of that in his first term, what makes people think he's going to do that in his second term?
Dude, there was a peaceful transfer of power, whether you wanted to... Okay. Any type of vote counting that was delayed, you've had Supreme Court hearings delayed, you've had pieces of legislation delayed by liberals. If we're going to go ahead and say that the election was not going to take place because of January 6th or it wasn't going to be certified, give me a fucking break. Okay? I'm not sitting here saying that the people who are in prison for J6 didn't deserve it. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is there's not one person on the planet who truly believes that a coup d'etat was taking place at that time. If you do, I'm just going to tell you right now with everything in my soul, and I mean this with the utmost respect, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. And if you want to argue this, call me at 804-212-2208. You're more than welcome to have this conversation with you. Please explain to me how you anticipated this ragtag bunch of yokels who couldn't find their asses with two hands that made militias look organized. Please tell me how you anticipated the United States government going, wait a second, what? There's 100 of them? They're where? They've taken over the Senate floor. Well, fuck it. That's it. Let's pack it in. No, NORAD, sack NORAD. Let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and shut down Kenya. Japan, yep, let's surrender the bases. Let's go ahead and just all sub-commanders, pop your hatches, sink your subs, commit seppuku. We're done. The J6ers have entered the building, and we can't run a stable government anymore. Let's just go over there and surrender. Let's go surrender ourselves to the gallows. Let's go turn ourselves in to the 100 ragtag group that smells like Cheetos, Mountain Dew, and patchouli, and have been recently playing Xbox within the last 10 to 12 hours. Let's go ahead and surrender ourselves to these folks. Give me a break. There was no chance in any way, shape, or form, if it was 100,000 guys with weapons, that the government's going to fall. You could put 1 million people with weapons in the United States in Washington, D.C., and the government's still not going to fall. We have redundancy after redundancy. The government is never going to fall unless there's nothing left to govern. So to sit here and say that J6ers were somehow going to thwart and steal our democracy, you just look at them and go, you're the same fucking people that believe men can be women. And you're trying to sell this crap to me that men can be women. And I know you don't believe it. Nobody's this stupid. You don't believe it. You laugh at this and go, can you fucking believe this? Is there any recording devices around? No. Dude, they actually believe that men can be women. You know you're that person. You sit at the dinner table as you muck your food and you look across from your wife and you try to keep a straight face as you say, remember Bob next door? Yes, well, his name is now Bobette and he's a woman. No, you laugh at that person and say, Bob is completely fucked up and Mary has had 4 Vicodin and a 5th of vodka and she's on her way out because her husband is now a woman. Give me a break. These people are freaking delusional. They are the put the flowers on the meat people. Olivia, when you saw that, how do you justify something so stupid? I mean, it's almost something like you would see in a sitcom.
The meat, the flowers on the meat. They're just dumb. They're just, it's about, they are up there with the people who handcuff themselves to art and spray paint themselves different colors and spray paint buildings to make a point. And, what's her name?
I don't know. Why didn't they glue their hands to the meat?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been more effective?
How dare you? This chick.
Oh,
yeah,
Greta
her.
Thunberg. I mean,
Yeah, they're all on the same level and they're just
I don't think they're
dumb.
stupid. I just think they're crazy. Like, bring back insane asylums. Like, let's lock these people up. What the hell? You know what's hilarious is people are on there and I'm like, leftists put dead flowers on dead meat. You know what people say? How do you know they're leftists? Because there's no self-respecting conservative, I don't care how fucking stupid they are, that would wear a mask, dress all in black, and put roses on meat. No. Well, there's vegans who are conservatives. No. There are vegans who are pretending to be conservative, but are really closet fucking liberals who don't tell the truth. There are no conservatives in the United States of America who are vegan. I don't believe you. If you might say I don't eat meat, but you don't classify yourself as a vegan. I don't see it. Ring in now. Tell me, if you're a vegan and you're a conservative, do you call yourself a vegan or do you call yourself a person that doesn't meet egg, protein, meats, and animal byproduct? Let me know, because I don't think there's a conservative on the planet who qualifies themselves as a vegan. I don't believe it. Call in if you are.
Be right back.
Where are you going? Wait. She made you cold tea? Well, go fix that. Get Hayden in here.
No, it's just, she probably put it on just warm, so not the hot tea. Like she made it for her.
You should get Hayden in here. Okay, so everyone agrees there's no such thing as vegan conservatives. Fine, because I don't either. We lost like 10 people, so obviously a lot of the people who are dialing in believe that they are vegan and that they are conservatives. I don't buy it in any way, shape, or form. This, if you have not seen it, is going to be our hero, Hunter Biden, with his statement on the White House steps. Not White House steps. I don't know where he was.
MAGA Republic.
He was before the Capitol building. Remember, I warned you. I told you that this was going to get serious. It's okay. We're good. I told you this was going to get serious. I told you that every single... What are you doing?
I'm just saying if you guys have ludens in here.
If we have what?
Ludens.
No. We don't. Every single president who has been impeached, whether it be Richard Nixon, Bill Clinton, or Donald Trump, have all seen a spike in the polls during the impeachment process. I told you this is the stupidest thing that they could do. There is no reason for them to open up impeachment inquiry hearings. They don't have the votes. It's not going to do anything. all it's going to do is give him a bump of favorability. All it's going to do is make Republicans look weak and inept, just as bad as the Democrats were. And I told you that Hunter Biden has been getting sober and was getting prepped. He's put on about 20 pounds post-addiction weight, which means he's replacing his addiction with food. He's not getting enough exercise, but the one thing he is getting a plethora of is getting educated by lawyers on what to say and what not to say. And what they did is that they swore him in to testify and said, we're going to give you a subpoena. We want you behind closed doors. Of course, they don't want that. They want it open in the public hearing. So what? And if they would have said they want it in the public, he would have said he wanted it behind closed doors. Folks, this is the game, the Potomac two-step. Just like I told you, Hunter Biden was going to come out and he was going to make the Republicans look stupid. Guess what? He did. Hunter Biden is a piece of shit of epic scale and proportion. He's dirty. His family's dirty, but his family also did this when Joe Biden wasn't a vice president and had no expectation of his old man running for president at all. So when he did, somehow Hunter had to put the shit back in the horse. And all those trading ponies and all the shell companies and all the phone calls and everything else will come out, but it won't matter. Because you're not going to get the majority in the Senate this election cycle. You're not going to impeach him. You should wait until after the election and cross fingers that Donald Trump wins. And if Donald Trump doesn't win, that's when you throw every single thing at him that you possibly can. On day one of his inauguration, getting re-sworn in on his inauguration, you file impeachment proceedings and you take him to the mat. And you don't let him get up until the end of those 4 years. Not now. You don't do it now. Because this is what was going to happen. I told you, and what did everyone say? Hunter Biden isn't going to be able to go ahead and talk like that. He's not going to be able to make two sentences put together. He's a cokehead. He's a crackhead. I told you he was Harvard, Yale, whatever educated, Ivy League educated, was an intelligent human being with degrees, has law degrees and the ability to go ahead and communicate effectively. And you told me no. Well, guess what? He just went up there and lied for 4.5 minutes. And every single Democrat and every person who was in the middle, he related to them. Now he looks like the victim. The gun-running, tax-evading, sex trafficking, prostitute, sniffing coke off a hooker's hip bones, pointing weapons at women. This stupid son of a bitch is our legacy. Listen to this. Live in joy.
Including members of the House committees who are in a closed-door session right now, have impugned my character, invaded my privacy, attacked my wife, my children, my family, and my friends. They have ridiculed my struggle with addiction, they have belittled my recovery, and they have tried to dehumanize me, all to embarrass and damage my father, who has devoted his entire public life to service. For 6 years, I have been the target of the unrelenting Trump attack machine, shouting, "Where's Hunter?" Well, here's my answer. I am here. Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad, and certainly not as an artist. During my battle with addiction, my parents were there for me. They literally saved my life. They helped me in ways that I will never be able to repay. And of course, they would never expect me to. And in the depths of my addiction, I was extremely irresponsible with my finances. But to suggest that is grounds for an impeachment inquiry is beyond the absurd. It's shameless. There is no evidence to support the allegations that my father was financially involved in my business because it did not happen. James Comer, Jim Jordan, Jason Smith, and their colleagues have distorted the facts by cherry-picking lines from a bank statement, manipulating texts I sent, editing the testimony of my friends and former business partners, and misstating personal information that was stolen from me. There is no fairness or decency in what these Republicans are doing. They have lied over and over about every aspect of my personal and professional life. So much so that their lies have become the false facts believed by too many people. No matter how many times it is debunked, they continue to insist that my father's support of Ukraine against Russia is the result of a non-existent bribe. They displayed naked photos of me during an oversight hearing. And they have taken the light of my dad's love, for me, and presented it as darkness. They have no shame.
Well, he is dark. He is Dark Brandon, after all. I mean, that's the name that they came up with.
Committee chairmen have engaged in unprecedented political interference in what would have already been a 5-year investigation of me. Yet, here I am, Mr. Chairman, taking up your offer when you said we can bring these people in for depositions or committee hearings, whichever they choose. Well, I've chosen. I am here to testify at a public hearing today to answer any of the committee's legitimate questions. Republicans do not want an open process where Americans can see their tactics.
Dude, who in the fuck is let 'em cook? Dude, ChatGPT, fuck off. If you think I can't tell when somebody's literally just reciting ChatGPT, listen, we already have one Vivek Ramaswamy. We don't need another one. If you want to have a conversation, 804-212-2208. This is how this reads, you fucking shill. Seriously, man. There were reports that a laptop allegedly belonging to Hunter Biden contained various emails, photos, and documents. Some of these materials became a subject of controversy during the 2020 presidential election. However, the authenticity and origin of the laptop and its contents were disputed, and it's important to note that there were no verified or independently confirmed details about its contents made public. Go fuck yourself, ChatGPT. Get the fuck out of my channel. You sound like a fact book Facebook Nazi fucking checker. And if you think that you're going to tell me that you're not ChatGPT, you have chimed in on 3 different topics, and all of them sound AI created. Please do me a favor. Call my show. I'll give you $10,000 to debate me. And if you talk even an iota, a scintilla close to that, I'll give you $10,000. There's not a fucking chance. So give me a break. First of all, those laptops were in his possession by IP and signature and intake from the inventory control. Those hard drives, it's not a laptop, dipshit, it's a hard drive. There was 2 of them, actually, and if you look that up, you can find out that information, which ChatGPT didn't tell you. These hard drives were left there. They were surrendered. And like most things that are in lost and found or surrendered without payment, they wind up moving into the possession of the innkeeper, storekeeper, or small business. The chain of custody of this information was in denial by intelligence agencies before they had even been seized, before they had been looked at. They were given to the Trump administration, Rudy Giuliani in particular, and also other assets to have these in custody. You can't fake pictures of your niece. You can't create the pictures. Nobody's denying that. They have ultimately claimed all ownership of these laptops as early as 5 months ago and shifted the story from It's not Hunter's laptop, and it's not Russian disinformation. It's in the past, and he was sick, and he's getting better, and Daddy loves him. ChatGPT, shut the fuck up. Can't stand people like you. Have an original thought. Stop plagiarizing other people's work because you can't back up one iota of that. Russian disinformation. I'm sure you believe in all of the other things, from P-tapes to Russian business dealings to FISA warrants to Michael Avenatti to Stormy Daniels to not bugging Donald Trump's businesses and his personal home in Mar-a-Lago and Trump Towers. Not planning FBI agents inside his campaign to spy on him. All these things that are true, but the laptop's fake. No, dude, the laptop's real. I've got all 1,900 pages of it if you would like to see it. And if you're going to defend this monstrosity of moral decay, then that says more about you than anyone here, ChatGPT. Give me a fucking break. Let them cook. Whatever.
Expose their baseless inquiry or hear what I have to say. What are they afraid of? I'm here. I'm ready.
Hunter, are you willing to go across the street?
If anyone didn't notice that Swalwell, Fang Chinese, what happens when you have sex with a Chinese woman? You want to do it again 30 minutes later? He was walking him out. One of the most unethical people in Congress is obviously Hunter's good friend. What do you think, Liv? How does that make you feel when you hear about Hunter Biden up there? Did our boy let him cook come back and say anything?
I haven't seen any of his comments.
I had a feeling ChatGPT would bail after that. Because this guy's like, holy shit, this guy knew it was ChatGPT. Good night, buddy. You going to bed? Well, look, get away from me. I don't want it.
You gave it to everyone. So.
Oh, it's my fault. Oh, right. I got it.
It's just my throat.
Good night. All right. I want to hear your thoughts, Liv. Go ahead.
Well, Hunter is a lying piece of shit, in my opinion. Yeah, he definitely cleaned up and gained a little weight, and he's a smart guy. No one said he was.
He's not stupid. No, everyone said he was stupid. Everyone said he was stupid.
It's because no one wants to believe the reality of it, but he's very smart. His father is very smart. And this is how they're getting away with it. And everything he said, I think, is a lie. And he's being fed what to say by the lawyers and everything else. So
that entire letter was fabricated and written by his daddy's administration.
Guarantee it.
And it was processed and vetted through his father's administration. And if it doesn't make Biden complicit in this, KJP, Claude Jean Jacques Pierre, stood up on the stage today and said that Biden is very familiar with the statement and has read the statement. That makes him complicit in any lies that he told. He was very careful with his wording to make it financial. There were no financial ill-begotten gains, but it doesn't talk about what his involvement truly was. If you can go ahead and nitpick in between logistical support or influence support or selling the brand or using someone's reputation selling, whatever it may be. But then you specifically isolate financial, and we know the financial apparatus of this was extremely well done. It was shelled between 20 different companies. This money had been washed and processed and disseminated between multiple people. And obviously the financial issue is the most difficult one to prove. But you have circumstantial evidence which should lead to an impeachment inquiry. Now, Liv, do you know the difference between impeachment inquiry and a full impeachment?
No, I don't.
Impeachment inquiry simply says, very much like an indictment, is there enough evidence to move forward with a grand jury and process an indictment? So an investigation takes place to determine with subpoena powers and judicial powers to expand their ability to investigate the situation. Once they do that, they can then move forward with impeachment or not. It's the process that the Democrats skipped with Donald Trump. Now, they all like to sit here and say, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, this is the way it's supposed to be done. And if you want to look at this, you can go ahead and take a look at other people in the Trump administration who have not shown up to impeachment hearings, not impeachment hearings, but investigatory subpoena requests. And they're spending time in prison for this, or they're being charged with this. You can look at the long litany of people who have said, we're not going to go ahead and honor this subpoena request. And they have been held accountable, arrested, and charged. This should be the next step is Hunter Biden should be arrested. He should be charged by the DOJ for violating a Senate subpoena, order to appear, and that's it. Hold on a second. I got to read this shit.
You write another one?
Yeah. Let 'em cook says, how can you not see these guys?
What, sometimes I don't get it. Is it Facebook?
I'm sorry for any misunderstanding caused by using ChatGPT on your show. Don't unfriend me. If my actions or the technology's response were inappropriate or caused any disruption, I genuinely apologize. Please know that it was not my intention to create any discomfort or inconvenience. If there's anything I could do to make things right, I'll have any concerns, please let me know. Absolutely. Let them cook. That's a great comment. Thank you so much for writing that. What you could do for me is hold your breath for 15 minutes. If that doesn't work, do it for longer. Moving on.
What I don't get is Joe Biden admitted in public that he blackmailed Ukraine.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
admitted it
I know.
in public.
Oh, but that didn't
during
anything,
a speech.
that was just coincidence, right? Donald Trump had the perfect phone call that was not even a recorded phone call and was not a true transcript, but was later transcribed with the best appropriate guessing available. And they impeached him for that. But you actually have quid pro quo on tape. He admits it. He withholds $1 billion from Ukraine to fire someone, which is quid pro quo, which is blackmail. He also did it with the Afghani president when he said, we're not going to give you air support or intelligence unless you do A, B, C, and D with your military planning, your military strategy, and the exfil from Bagram Air Base, which is blackmail. Openly says it on a phone call. I've got the phone call to prove it. I showed it to you. I did that show. Nothing happens. Okay. I don't care about Hunter Biden. I've said it 100 times. I still don't care. Don't give a shit. If Hunter Biden goes to prison tomorrow, do you know what that gets me? Absolutely nothing. As an American citizen, it does nothing for me. I want to know if Joe Biden did what he's accused of. I want to know if he took money from China. And we all know he did. We all know that he's been enriching himself off of this because this is the Potomac two-step. These multimillionaires, whether it be Bill Clinton, whether it be the Bushes, whether it be the Obamas, even Donald Trump lost money in office, as most of these people do, because a $250,000 to $325,000 salary, depending upon the year you're there, isn't going to do anything for your finances when you make millions a year. You're going to lose money being a president, but that's not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is $250,000 an hour on the lecture circuit after you get out of the presidency. This is how Nikki Haley made money. This is how the Clintons made money. This is how the Obamas made their money. This is how Donald Trump, if he wasn't literally going to prison because of all the fucking 91 some odd indictments, which is ridiculous, that he would be making on the lecture circuit. But he doesn't need that money. That's the difference. This is how they enrich themselves. And when Joe Biden left office as vice president, they didn't want him as president. They wanted Hillary. It was Hillary's time to punch the ticket because that's the deal she made with Barack Obama by supporting him and becoming Secretary of State. This is why Obama held out so long in 2016 to support Joe Biden. And the reason why is because he doesn't like Joe Biden. They like to say that they're like White Shadow and shit, and they're ebony and ivory on fucking pounding out on their keyboard like McCartney and Stevie Wonder. But guess what? They're not. They don't like each other. He waited 3 months to endorse Biden. All of that enriching that he did up until that point came back to bite him in the presidency. We saw tax records that were filed 3 years posthumously from after he had already taken money. We know his son didn't file tax records. We know they had 20 shell companies. We know they said they never had any communication, but we've seen golf pictures. We've seen resorts and golf tournaments. We have phone records. We have them flying on the same planes together. We have them visiting the White House in the records. We know that that was a lie. But all they continue to do is keep moving the goalposts. So when people say Donald J. Trump is going to disassemble the DOJ, good. Good. Because not only that, they should go ahead and remove every single senator, every single state legislature. They should fire every federal fucking employee who works for any alphabet agency and start from scratch. The American people should audit every single major organization and Fed in Washington, D.C. The amount of corruption, folks, we're fooling ourselves. Nothing's coming of this. Joe Biden will not be removed. This will continue to happen. Hunter Biden will not spend a day in prison. Donald Trump's not going to prison. This will never be fixed. We will be sitting here 20 years from now talking about this shit right here 20 years from now. You want to know how I know? Because I was talking about it 20 years ago. We have to figure out how to move on. We have to figure out and realize that government is no longer the solution to any of our problems, that it is the reason we have problems. And we need to disassociate ourselves with it. We've learned this with boycotting companies, that we can get these companies out of our lives. We need to boycott the government. We need to stop watching the media. We need to stop talking about it. We need to start talking about the things that are truly important. That's why I try to do it on the show. And I do add a little bit of humor once in a while. We might talk about a bunch of freaking vegans putting flowers on meat. But we try to stick to the topics that are true and honest, not this partisan bullshit. Olivia, we've got 1 minute, and we're going to get you out of here. Your voice sounds like warmed up dog shit, and yes. I don't want you any sicker. You've got 1 minute. Go.
Please go to YouTube, subscribe. I think we're at 8:33. Unless someone subscribed on the show, let's find out.
8:33. Let him cook can go over there. I mean,
let's see.
This guy can rock Chat GPT, so I'm sure he can do it. I'm sure he can look it up on how
8:33. So we got 100 and what is that? 167 to go.
Yeah, well, we've put some money into it. That's all you have tonight. That's it.
Thanks for joining.
Wow. Well, I guess we can go catch the final 2 periods of the Avs game tomorrow. Might and Mac are on it.
That's funny.
Matt and Mike in the morning at 10 a.m. We will be on. Mike will be here. So great. When Mike left the other day, he's been obviously off the show for a while. He walks and he turns around. He goes, "Hey, I really didn't think I was going to say this. Oh, Rick Walker's here. What's up with all the Anon accounts? Dude, there's so
Rick Walker?
So many. I'm going to scream Fed. Oh, I already know who it is. I recognize the number.
Is it worse?
Watch. I'm going to be on this in 2. Turn down the show, dude. All right, who's calling?
It's Isaac.
Oh,
Isaac,
hey,
Isaac, what are you calling for, Santa?
I had to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and yours, Mike. Everybody, Leroy. Yeah, I know the F-14's upside down. It's okay. That's the way we roll. Okay.
Happy and Merry Christmas, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
are
Isaac.
you going to be drinking whole milk, Isaac, on your when you deliver all your gifts?
No. I have a cookie problem, so I drink beer.
A lot of it, Isaac. Did you get your ornament yet?
Yes.
Oh, we need to.
And I wish the Spears the most merriest and happiest of Christmases ever.
Oh man, we love you, Isaac.
I hope you have a white Christmas. You go out and chop down a tree.
Don't be racist.
And you drag it the hell back home.
We'll talk to you soon, buddy. See you, Isaac. Bye-bye. Oh, Santa Claus is a longtime listener. He's such a...
Love Santa.
He has a little bit too much eggnog this time of year, don't you think?
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Let him cook. That's fine. I already know who you are, but that's okay. Appreciate you using ChatGPT. Nobody types that quick. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We will have a recorded show out tomorrow. Mike will be here at 10 a.m. Stop by and see us and have a wonderful
Hopefully I've got a
time.
voice on Friday.
You'll have a voice because we're getting off early. Good night, everybody. God bless. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We'll see you tomorrow. Go get a shirt, hat, or something over at the Don't Unfriend Me show at thedumbshow.com. Good night.
Night, y'all.
See ya.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.